Hello everybody, welcome back. If you're new to the group, each week Molly and I present a word, and that word is intended to be a guide for journaling, meditation, contemplation, and discussion. And this week's word is forgiveness, or forgive, I think. Yeah, I think it's forgive. And forgive is a really deeply meaningful word. And the process of forgiveness is oftentimes very difficult. And I liked Molly's, her post on forgiveness and then her comment on forgive, because it really showed the depth at which that process can reach. And there's a lot of parts of forgiveness. So I think one of the important things to remember when it comes to forgiving is that your perspective has a lot to do with it. So how you see a situation has a lot to do with it. The motivations behind people's behavior, what their intentions are. Maybe sometimes the intention doesn't even matter. It's just what people have done that is hard to forgive, or what they've said that's hard to forgive. And I think the first place to start when we're looking at forgiveness is really with yourself. So forgiving yourself is also a practice that's very difficult and takes time and effort and a refocusing of your mind on that ability to be with ourselves. So when you're looking in the mirror, when you're alone, when you're in those spaces in between with yourself, that's really a place where forgiveness starts. So if you hold on to things, if you beat yourself up, if you're really negative to yourself, it's almost impossible to forgive others for things that they've done or things that they've said. So that process of forgiveness really starts with yourself. And as you learn to forgive yourself for mistakes or things that you've said or done that you're not proud of, that can bleed into forgiveness of others. And that process of forgiveness of others is a very important process, that we have a lot of opportunity there for growth. We have opportunity there for accountability. So in situations that I've been where something's happened or something's been done to me, I have to take a moment. At first, the shock of something happening, something being said, something being done is really intense, and it's important to remember that it's okay to have really intense feelings, that there's a grief and a loss in that lack of trust or loss of respect or whatever's happened in that situation. There is a grieving of that. So you're going to have those same grieving periods. You're going to have anger, you're going to have denial, you're going to have bargaining, you're going to have all of these things that lead to acceptance, and they're going to rotate in and out. Those things don't happen like in a set order. The stages of grief, if you Google that, you can see the different stages. They don't happen like this happens and then this happens and then this happens. They flow in and out and become less and less intense over time. So you'll go through periods of anger, you'll go through periods of sadness, you'll go through these periods and they'll be really intense at the beginning of something happening. And then over time they get a little bit less intense and they fade, and eventually you lead to, if you're processing through things, if you're not just sticking in that denial or sticking in that anger, sticking in that sadness, as you're processing through things and you're reorienting your mind around your reality, around your situation and how it is now, how it exists now after something's happened, then eventually you get to acceptance. And acceptance is where the forgiveness lies when we're talking about something happening to you that you're holding on to, something that you're staying bitter about, or you're staying angry about, or you're holding on to that thing that makes you feel negative about someone or something that's happened. And eventually through time and through practice and through processing and talking to trusted loved ones or family or friends or a therapist, you can get to that place of acceptance. And in that place of acceptance is where forgiveness lies. And that piece is really powerful. If you can get to that place where you've accepted that things have changed, you've accepted something that someone has said or done, and you can forgive that person, you can forgive yourself, hold yourself accountable for any part you played in it, and forgive yourself for that piece that you're accountable for. There is a lot of healing and growth and development that exists in that processing. So I think forgive is a really important word. I think it's important to remember that forgiveness, that anything that happens that requires forgiveness has this piece of loss in it, that you've lost trust or you've lost respect or you've lost a connection. And that lost piece shows up in a lot of different words and a lot of different places in our life. And practicing paying attention to yourself, paying attention to how you feel, validating your own feelings, validating the feelings of others, being kind to yourself, being kind to others, knowing that these processes are normal, and just moving through them until you can get to that place of acceptance and you can get to that place of forgiveness. Because those places are really beautiful places to be. There's a lot of peace of mind, and things might pop back up. It's not like you get to acceptance and then you never think of something again, or you're never triggered by something again. That's not how acceptance works either. That's not how forgiveness works either. And every time something comes up that brings back a memory or brings back a feeling, it's important to just work through that again and go through that again. And over time, those things ease, those things relax, and that feeling of peace can really be with you, and you can really have that true sense of acceptance and forgiveness. So I think this word this week is really important because it's such a deep, meaningful word. Holding on to things like that can be very negative for you, for your health, for your energy, for your relationships. And forgiving and being in that place of forgiveness is very, very powerful and very, very important for maintaining a healthy, balanced life that we're talking about oftentimes, where we're leaning one way or leaning the other, and we're really trying to come to that place of balance, that place of living in the now, that place of being healthy and comfortable, and at peace with yourself and your life. So forgive is a big word. It's an important concept, and I really enjoy the contemplation on this topic, and I have worked hard through my life to process things and talk about my feelings and look at different perspectives in order to get forgiveness for myself, and in order to get the grace of forgiveness for others. And I really hope that you have an opportunity to process through some things as well. And I hope that Molly and I's conversations about these words are helpful and beneficial for you, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you for showing up today.